Here with Concordia head women's soccer coach Greg Henson to preview the 2015 season following a really thrilling 2014 year, a GPAC tournament title and a school's first appearance at the national tournament. Broke a record for wins as well. How has that positively impacted the program throughout the off season and moving into this fall?
I think the main thing is just that it's given them a taste of success and really acknowledges to them what it's going to take to get back there. They know now how hard the road is and the travel is, and they understand what it takes to get to that next level, and that's where we're trying to get to again this year.
After the bar was raised so high last year, how do you talk to players about what the expectations are for 2015?
The expectations haven't really changed. I mean, when I took the position in 2013, our goal was to get to the national tournament. We fell short of that in my first year, and last year, obviously, we achieved that goal. And I think now it's just a matter of continuing to do the things and taking the steps necessary for us to get there and to reach those goals. And obviously, we want to take the next step, which is getting to the final site for the NAIA National Tournament. But first step, we got to get back, and it's going to be a tough road. The conference is very challenging. We take nothing for granted, but that's going to be where we continue to set our sights, is trying to win the conference championship and getting the nationals.
Because of what happened last season, how does this off season maybe feel a little bit differently than a year ago?
I don't know that it feels too much different. I mean, every year, that's what makes college athletics so much fun, is that at the end of the season, you kind of have to turn the page and start the new chapter. And we said goodbye to 7 great seniors last year that were very impactful in our program, and spent the off season kind of learning how to play without them and getting along without them and getting ready for this fall. So I don't know if the off season's ever really that much different. Obviously, we felt a little bit better, but since we got back on the field, it's back to work, and you got to get the job done.
There's a solid returning nucleus even without those 7 seniors that you mentioned. Several starters who are sophomores now, including Jessica Skirston, who scored 17 goals last year. How pleased with her development were you last year and moving forward?
I mean, obviously coming in as a freshman and scoring 17 goals, I mean that's a great accomplishment for year one of your career, and so now she has to come out and continue to improve, and she's not going to surprise anybody anymore. Everybody knows who she is in the conference, so she's just got to continue to work and progress and follow this up with a solid sophomore season. But there's no pressure there either. I mean, soccer's a team sport, and every year somebody has to step up, and whether it's her or another one of our players, we're going to have somebody that steps up kind of into that leadership role as far as taking on goal scoring abilities and things of that nature. So, we'll move forward. We got a great returning group. We have 5 players or 6 players that started in the national tournament last year that are coming back this fall. So a lot of experience, in our lineup. We got another good freshman class coming in as well, and the last 2 years, and we look for it to happen again this fall in year 3 is having impactful freshmen in the lineup. It's happened every season, and we look for that to happen again this year. And I think with our nucleus of returners and the fresh talent coming in our freshman class, we should be a very competitive team again this year.
What do you like about the way the other 2 freshmen last year stepped in and started right away and played, Janelle Condame and Esther Sankson?
Yeah, both of them did a great job. Janelle and Esther both stepped in right away to starting roles and then maintained those positions throughout the season. Janelle battled a little bit of the injury bug a little bit throughout the season, but both were a constant threat in our lineup and filled roles that we needed filled. And so we look for them to kind of continue to progress, the same as we mentioned with Jess, and as they're coming back and looking for them to have solid sophomore years as well.
Now, more veterans, of the more veteran presences on the team, what makes Madison Hawkins and Katrina Muther good captains?
Well, Katrina Cat is, as we call her, is coming back for her 5th year. So she's using a redshirt year and was a returning captain for us. So just kind of creates a little bit of balance for us, in that, like I mentioned earlier, with losing the 7 seniors, we have one coming back, so to speak. So really creates just a good balance as far as that goes with her leadership abilities. Madison Hawkins is just a calming presence on the field, off the field, in the locker room within our team. I mean, she plays in a holding midfield role for us over the last 2 years, and she's a player that doesn't get a lot of notice when it comes to stats and maybe the highlight films and articles, but she does a great job, and without her in that role, we're not successful. So I think both of them will play pivotal roles for us moving forward, not just in leadership on and off the field, but also in their play on the field.
You had 2 all-conference players in your back line that have moved on with Rachel Mazzell, Marcy Sint. How much of your success this season depends upon adequately replacing them?
Every season is going to depend on having a strong, back four, and being a strong defensive-minded team. That's been our success since I arrived. It will continue to be a presence or an important factor for us moving forward. So that's one of the things that we worked on this off season. It's basically kind of a similar story from the year before. And what we'll continue to do in the preseason is look for players that can fill those roles and provide that stability for us in the back. We want to be strong in the back first, defend well as a team, as a unit, and then we'll look to move forward with the ball and we'll look to attack.
It helps to have Chrissy Lynn back, of course, at keeper. Already holds several records, even going into her junior year. What expectations do you have for her in her junior season?
Just to continue to improve. I mean, it's something that we've talked about individually as far as her progression goes, and what we're looking for her is just to continue to improve as she goes along. The really neat story for Chrissy is she started playing soccer as a junior in high school. So this is so she's still relatively new to the game, and how far she's come in such a short period of time. Just a testament to her work ethic and her natural athleticism. And so we just look to her to continue to improve and get better. We're not worried about setting records and all conference awards and things of that nature. But she does a great job for us back there to put us in positions to win games. And that's the unique thing with the goalkeeping position, is she can never win a game for us. She can only put us in a position to have a chance to win a game, and she does that game in, game out. So.
You mentioned you want to have some contributions from this year's class of freshmen as well. A lot of people around here are familiar with Maria Dieter, who's from Seward and played at Lincoln Lutheran. Why should people be excited about her being a Bulldog, and as well as some of the other freshmen?
We got a total class of 11 players coming in, a good class all the way through, and we're really looking for several of them to come in and step in and make an impact right away. Obviously, Maria Dieter's from Seward, so kind of the hometown girl. Great player as a high school player and at the select level with OFC up in Omaha. And when you have a player at that level that's in your backyard, like I said earlier, you can't allow them to get away without at least throwing the recruiting pitch at them. So we're really happy to have her here. And as far as some of the other players that we have coming in, it's just a matter of what they're able to do, and we'll find out in a couple weeks here as we get started. Just giving them an opportunity to come in and compete right away, and we'll see what happens.
Well, for at least 1 year with College of St. Mary joining the conference, there's an extra bid. How does their addition to the conference affect Concordia?
It just brings another talented program into the conference. It's somebody that we struggled with last year a little bit, so we know that they're a good program and a good team. I think a lot of the schools in the conference are familiar with them, but we've played them the last 2 years and know that they're a good program. So it just makes our conference even tougher in the women's soccer standings. And on top to bottom within the conference, there's no easy games. Every game's going to be a battle and a challenge, and you just got to go out and look to get points in each game.
Now, having beaten Hastings both times, you played them last year. I mean, they're probably the favorite again, like they are every year. What's that going to be like going up against them again this year?
I think Hastings obviously is going to be the favorite going into this season again, as you said. As far as last year's goes, it's kind of like I said earlier, it's turn the page and it's a new chapter. The positive is that our players now have a taste and understand that, hey, we can beat anybody on our schedule, and truly believe that now. But Hastings believes the same thing. And they're coming into the game expecting to beat us also. So it'll be a good match, and we look to be competitive in that game. But last year's records and last year's results don't really mean a whole lot once the games get started here at the end of the month.